Hi, this is my Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I want to deal with part 5 today of the very same topic of certain types of doors or some kinds of doors in our lives as young men and how to deal with them. Types of doors in our lives as young men and how to deal with them. And today I want to deal with doors that open by sensing your hand. Doors that open by sensing your hand. There are those doors that you put your hand on and they sense the hand and they open. And I'm sure you know such doors, and there are quite a few of them, especially this season post the COVID-19, whereby most of the gates, most of the doors, they're actually sensing the hand and for them to open. And I want to speak about this type of a door because it's a principle as well that is happening in our seasons, in our days. Now, this type of a door is you have to use your hand to have this door open. So in other words, there are opportunities that will need your hands in order for them to open. They can only sense your hand. If you do something with your hand, that opportunity will open. You fold your arms, you don't use your hands, that opportunity will not open. And as a young man, I want you to hear me well here. That there are those opportunities that will never open until you make your hand work. You make your hand to be stretched to somebody. You make your hand give or release something. Or you use your hand any other way and you see that opportunity opening. Now, giving is another way of using your hands to open doors. And I'm mentioning this because there are times when people hold back and they are stingy and they are actually people that are mean and they cannot give to other people. Even when they realize that other people have got needs and you have got something that you could give to someone that they need more than you. As a young man, I want to urge you to learn to give and open your hand to give charitably to other people. I want to speak about giving right now as a young man, that you give cheerfully. That there are those people that need some things that you have, and you need some things that they have. But until you open your hand and use your hand, because this particular door needs the use of your hand. It can only sense your hand. When you open your hand to give to those that are in need, it's only then that people also realize your needs and they open their hands towards you. Until you use your hands, this particular door shall not open. This particular opportunity shall not open because it can only open by sensing your hand, as I've mentioned. Now release that which you have. Give cheerfully. Make sure that whatever you have, make use of giving it away to people, because as you do so, you're planting seeds of giving and you are actually causing other men to give unto you. There are those of us who have lost our opportunity by not giving, by being stingy and holding things back, even those things that we don't need in our lives. So I want to urge you as a young man that start being a giver. And that hand of yours shall be sensed by the opportunities that are ahead of you. That hand of yours shall be sensed by the opportunities that are exposing themselves before you. But open up your hands. Make sure that that hand is being sensed by giving as you give. So that's very important. Now, sowing seeds open doors. And we've said this several times, and I want to emphasize that when you sow seeds, you surely expect them to germinate. You surely expect them to bear fruits. You surely expect them to be of value. So I want to emphasize that as a young man, you can never see the potential of a seed until you throw it away, until you give it away to the soil. And that's very important. So therefore, sow the seed, and only then you'll see the results, which is the open doors that you are looking for. Some of us were missing out to see the opening of those particular doors because the door can sense only your hand, but yet you're not stretching your hand unto other people. So this is very important. Now, I want you to understand that when you stretch your hands to help others, I've given an example earlier that you can offer yourself to wash somebody's car. You can offer yourself to clean somebody's garden. And that will be using your hands. And this opportunity, because it senses your hand, the door opens because you've actually stretched your hand and the door opens. And these are opportunities that only happen when you stretch your hand. And I want to urge you as a young man that be careful to understand this principle of the doors that open through sensing your hand. That you need to give, you need to do something with your hands, and your hands shall be sensed by this opportunity, and therefore things shall open up for you. You use your hands to harvest, isn't it? When you have planted or sown seeds, and then we start seeing harvest there, you're not going to see the harvest come into your house until you use your hands to actually harvest. Now, I want to emphasize that there are those opportunities that are a harvest already. But because we're not using our hands to harvest the harvest, we're not going to see the harvest coming because we are not using our hands, because the harvest can only sense our hands when we harvesting. So therefore, as a young man, be ready to harvest. Open up yourself up to say, I'm going to use my hands to harvest. That's an opportunity there right now, because you're going to open the door by harvesting. And that's very, very important that you do so. Now, I want to also speak about the door that open into a cabin that will only open if the back door is closed. And I'm sure you would know this type of doors. They are like glass cabin, whereby you'll see just a green and a red light, that when the green light outside shines, you pull that door and you must now enter into the cabin. And when you enter in the cabin, you must now close the door behind you in order for another light, green light, to open, in order to open the other door that enters you into the building. And I'm sure you would have seen doors like that as a young man. And I want to speak a little bit about this type of a door because it means a lot to our lives as a principle as well. Now, this is a type of a door that I want you to understand that this type of door, it will open. You open the first door first. And as you open the first door first, you make sure that you close that door in order for you now to open the other door in front of you, which leads you into the building. Because besides closing the back door, this one in front of you will not open. And this is a principle that I want us to understand. You must make sure that let your past not delay you. Let the back door not delay you. Let the things that have passed not delay you. Because there are people that even though the door is like that, they're afraid to let go of the past door or the door behind them. And therefore, the more you block the door behind you and don't allow it to close, it is actually stopping the one ahead of you to open. So in other words, the one ahead of you is only going to open when the back door has closed. So what am I saying? I'm saying there are opportunities in your life that will only happen when you've shut down the past tense of your life, when you've closed the doors behind you, when you've closed the situations behind you, when you've closed the stresses of behind and all the encounters that you've gone through, when you've closed that, when you've closed even the people behind you, those people of the past that were dragging you behind, those friends that dragged you behind, that delayed you, when you start to shut them up at the back and now open only the door in front of you, you're going to start to see progress in your life. Some of you are seeing delays in your life because you are not ready to shut the back door. You are still hovering and thinking about the past. And some of you are held back by your past relationships. And you cannot move on because you're forever meditating about your past relationships that didn't go right. So therefore, that delays you from succeeding. And you cannot see success in your life because you're holding on to the past. Close the chapter of your past to open the new avenues of new life. Close the chapter of your past life, then you'll see new things coming. Close the chapter with the old friends, the people that have hurt you. Close the chapter, forget about them, and start looking forward to new friends, start looking forward to new avenues, to new doors opening, and start looking to new opportunities as well in your life. But shut the back door and you'll start to see the new door opening in front of you. Use your experience only to motivate you, not to discourage you, because some of the experiences are discouraging us. Some of the experiences are actually pulling the power out of us. Now, as a young man, I want you to understand that shut the back door and open the new door, and let the back door be only just an experience to encourage you and to remind you that you can succeed in your life. And shut the back door and make sure that the new door opens in front of you. And I believe that this as a principle will help you as well as a young man. You'll become a better person when you are able to forget the past quickly and move on to new things in advance. Because let us not be held back by our past. Let us not be held back by our experiences. Let us not stay back with our minds, because that delays us and we cannot succeed by so doing. And I want to urge you as a young man to learn to do that and move forward at all times. Press on to the things ahead of you. I want to end up here today. Your host, Makona Spokane. Thank you very much for listening to us and being part of this great topic. I hope you've gained quite a bit out of this, and you would actually join us as we deal with other topics going forward. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure that you click that notification button as well, so that every video that we post, you are aware of it and you'll be able to watch and learn out of them. May the good Lord bless you, and allow me to say cheers for now.